Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we've got another match of the Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2023 between Rando Norris and JamesFnX. I'm starting with the uncommon today is Secretly a Sliver. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm ready to watch some Randomizer.
And myself, looking forward to a good race here between the two runners. We've got this is brackets round 2. We had Norris take game 1 in Fad Keys and James take game 2 in a McBoss seat. Today we are playing with standard boots.
Yeah, so we're gonna start with the Go Fast boots, and but the uncle will have a weapon. The weapon is randomized, so it can be one of, I believe, 7 or 8 different things, and the escape sequence is gonna be interesting depending on which one of those we get.
Yep. You can get sword, you can get bombs, you can get the cane, you can get a cane, you can get fire rod, bow. There's a variety of things you can get. And the Game Gear event we'll have to see which is which. We have Umbreon sprite, I think that is for Norris, and that's a bunny sprite for James today. Standard boots is the mode, and it is Holiday MSU for Norris, and the Ninja Gaiden 1-2 MSU for James today.
That's kind of rude for the uncle to say it's dangerous to go alone and not give you a sword like the guy in Z1.
Yeah. Kind of always a little, that's how it goes. Let's see, Pendant Eastern, I think that's Crystal's Desert and Hera.
It was a pendant at Desert. Neither of them
Okay.
are green pendants.
Okay, and we've got a bow on the uncles. That's our weapon of the day. Need to aim, but otherwise, not the worst weapon you can get for escape. $20 there. We've got money as well.
Guards are in the money pack as well, so I don't think we'll be hurting for cash this seed. Yeah, bow does a lot of damage in escape, plus it's a fairly long-range weapon. Let's see, well, it's one of the safer options. And a mirror, oh, we're gonna have a real quick escape now.
Okay, yep, that definitely helps out. No need to death warp, and that'll get you out of it here a little faster, because walking out does take a little bit and is not exactly fast. And Chad is correct that we don't need bombs in the back of escape. One less thing to worry about with a standard seed, because you can just bonk into the wall with boots and break it. James just slightly ahead of Norris here as we pick up Blue Mail in the next chest.
So Mirror is actually going to skip a good portion of this escape sequence. After you rescue Zelda, you can just mirror out to the beginning instead of spending a minute walking all the way back through the dungeon.
Yep. And Smokey there in Zelda cells, so no side of the map yet. And still got a couple of items. Between Dark Cross, Back Escape, and the sink.
Those rats really do like to get in your way sometimes.
Yes, yes they do. And bombs here in the Dark Cross. Don't need it for the back of escape, but is going to be nice for CAC. And there's a better room apart here. Let's see. 10 arrows, and the map, so there is an item in sync.
Oh, at least you got refunded for all those arrows that you spent.
There is that. Sure, that both runners back up to 30. Quick cat skip in favor of Tangent Eastern Rush the late bit. Piece and sync. There's the map check from James. And let's see, Bonk Rocks here for Norris. James skip that.
I did not see him go over there.
Yeah, I don't think he had enough time to do it. He's not that much ahead of Norris. And see, Lumberjack Ledge is, what is that?
That was a bug net, which some people in the community have told me is required for Aga 2, but I'm a little suspicious of that.
In all practicality, that's a bug net. They will not be picking that up. 300 more rupees here in the Lost Woods. Double checking the map for James, okay, and it is here. It is a blue mail for James, and I do like seeing how with the different sprites, how the mail upgrades change the sprite as well as the buddy sprite. And for Umbreon, we see that this is now a shiny Umbreon. The difference is subtle, but the accents are now blue instead of yellow. I do not know what the red mail sprite is for Umbreon offhand. We'll see it if we pick that up. 10 arrows here is even more of those things, and it's time for Cat.
Let's see if we get some blocks disappearing here.
Not quite possible. It's a neat little time save with the mirror if they choose to do it, so James does not have it equipped, so nope, and that is a very, very convenient flute.
Yeah, some friendly placements so far, but as any rando runner knows, if a seed starts out friendly, normally it gets mean toward the end.
There's usually a catch, and we are seeing the mirror here for Norris. But yeah, usually there ends up being something that trolls us. Just because Rando likes to do that. Essentially, it's just rude right now that we do have our bow was our escape weapon, but Eastern's a pendant, so it's available and folklore of out of logic. They just don't really want to go do that right now, perhaps. Desert obviously not accessible yet. No book. And there's our first sword in the well. And a moon pearl. Okay. Heart piece, not the worst item you can get off the bottle vendor. That is 4 hearts for James, and will probably be the same for Norris, I think.
That flute is access to Death Mountain, and that mirror can get us to Tower of Hera, which is a crystal. Maybe not a play that I would make, but it is a clearable crystal dungeon.
Yep. I mean, it kind of depends on what else you find, because they don't have a lot of items that go towards progression. They do have a bow, but obviously you seem dependent. The South Shore Sick Kid is here with that bottle of $50. They could out of logic the water checks, and we'll have just about enough money for Zora at the rate they're going right now. Hera wouldn't be a terrible play, I think, at this point.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Zora's not even in logic right now.
No?
You need a glove or the flippers, and usually you have a glove after CAC, but not this time.
No. Bombs here on the Grace game. That was $50 in the library. Yeah, Hera is also fireless. That is a good point from the work in chat. Bombos is a fire source, but not the kind that lights torches.
Well, it's only 50% likely that you need a fire source for Hera anyway.
That is true. It is to know that they also do not have any way of Hera potting. Yeah, we're off to Mini Moldorm Cave here for James, finding, let's see, 5 rupees, a heart piece, another heart piece. There's a lamp and $20. I'm starting to think that this might be an Aga seed.
Oh, there's our fire.
Yeah, there is that. And we do have one sword, lamp, or lamp and moon pearl and moon pearl. So I'm wondering if Aga 1's going to be required for Darkhold Axe at this point, with no sign of hammer or gloves. We know it's not required for the lumberjack pledge because that's the bug net, but there has to be something available at some point. And Hera is full clearable now, so that will definitely be the next play for both. No access to East Death Mountain either. No hammer, no hook shot. Though 1 2 items very well could be in Hera.
Oh, an Ice Rod hit check for Rando Norris. I don't believe that James did this.
He did not.
And I wonder how much Rando Norris is going to continue here. He does have Zora money, but again, it's all of those checks are out of logic.
Yeah. He is looking to set up a water walk. Nothing in Spec Rock, so that is our Master Sword on Spec Rock. Speaking of Aga.
Beginning to look a lot like Aga. So we have a green pendant in Ice Palace, red crystals at Thieves Town and Turtle Rock.
Okay then. And $20 from the hobo for Norris. There we go. Second try on the fake flipper. And compass in the first check of Hera for James. Basement is required. Good thing they got that lamp. Lake Islands are silvers. Okay. Here for Nora, so that's something they might want to pick up later if they are in the area.
James taking a little bit of a coffee break here, bombing the switch and standing on the pegs to get invulnerability frames, so you can just let those tiles do their thing and not have any fear of being bopped.
Yep. Well, there's a hookshot in Waterfall Fairy. Okay, that's good for Norris, who's going to be able to do a lot of checks in Death Mountain out of logic once he goes back up there. Sora Ledge is just 5 rupees. Good. Don't have to worry about coming back for that later, because I'm not sure they have the equipment for an Ansel Fake Flipper right now. And Zora's a complete and total scam as usual. That is a negative 99.8% return on investment. Pay 500 rupees, get 1 back. And Norris is going... Where is he going?
I believe he's going to the mountain.
I thought he'd already been up there for some reason, but nope. 10 arrows for James. 1 item left in Hera. And the map. James, don't fall down the hole. There we go. And Moldorm is going to give us 3 bombs and our first crystal here. Crystal, the only item of value coming out of here, and this is going to be it for James's trip up Death Mountain. Norris definitely gets to save time in Hera, yep, with that hookshot, can do Hera Pot and avoid doing the basement. Which we know is just a small key that unlocks the map, so will not be required. Apparently whatever's in Spec Rock is something that James is going to go backtrack for. Nope, or just didn't get a good look at it earlier. Okay, that works too. Heart piece there. That's it for him. Let's see, where is he off to now? Gonna check Desert Legend to keep. We are running out of checks here. Just some money on Desert Ledge. We've got the Zone of Eastern. Norris can do East Death Mountain out of logic with that hookshot. And there you go.
Yeah, in James's position, you haven't even sniffed a hammer or glove yet, and you have full Aghanim access with a Moon Pearl. I would be maybe looking harder there.
So would I. Zakina's just 20 rupees, because at this point it is essentially... oh, okay, he's got Ice Rod Cave too, but it's only 1 check, and you need 2 items for Dark World access. But you have...
Well, there's also Sahatfula and Pendant Eastern.
Yeah, and then there's, the Zone of Pendant Eastern, which, do you want to do that, really? And, oh yeah, he forgot he didn't do Bomb Cracks earlier.
So Eastern's a weird dungeon, because there are a lot of Sphere 1 checks. I believe there's 3 Sphere 1 chests that don't require any items other than what you start with.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's a pendant, I see a lot of times that the dip ends up being required.
Yeah, I agree to that, especially because you can also route 3 more Sphere 1 checks in Saha's Hut. On the other hand, Derek has a good point that you could also choose to do Aga first and then combine Eastern and Pod together with the mirror. Which is not necessarily a bad play either. It's, do you want to gamble that there is an item in Eastern, or do you want to gamble spending the time on Aga when you could find your item just in the Eastern area? And James doesn't know this, but it's entirely also possible that flippers are just out there somewhere to come over to where Norris is now. He is going to find out that find his suckshot, and Silver is there. shortly, as he is now doing a motor walk of his own. $50 and a heart piece for Norris.
It is a good point, though, Star. I wonder if the progression just goes through either Sahasrara or Eastern to give you the flippers, to give you the hook shot to come over here.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're gonna find out, because we've got these 5 chests, which have a shield, red mail, bombs. Umbreon's wings are now red. More bombs and $20. Well, if it's not, unless it's Spiral Cave, this was not immediately worth it. Oops, Norris falling down the hole. And this is gonna walk out. But with Paradox Cave not paying out, we are down to Spiral Cave, Baja Eastern, or Aga as our options. So it's looking less likely that our flippers are the logical access. Oh, we could still have Spiral Cave here be something, but we're really running out. $20 on the floating island. And James is about to get magnificently skimmed by Zora.
Yeah, and having that hook shot in hand would make me even more willing to do Aghanim because... Oh, and a glove?
Wow,
but we
that
need
makes
a little more than that.
We do, but that might make the Eastern play stronger because now you're only 1 item from Dark World access instead of 2 you could potentially get from the Eastern area. And Norris is going to check Akina first. He sits here. James is promptly heading back to Death Mountain. Makes sense. There are 7 checks. Paradox is a really strong play. Unfortunately, they're all mostly useless, with Red Mail and Shield being nicest quality of life items, I guess, but not progression.
So that green 20 on Desert Ledge tells us the game tried to put the boots there before giving them back to the player.
Oh yeah, there is that. Wasn't quite sure if that was a green 20 or green 50 earlier, but yes, in standard boots, the boots are replaced by a green 20 in the item pool. And that is a Flute 5, as expected here for Norris.
Alright, let's see what the old man's hiding from us this time.
Very nice spin suit as well for Norris. James does get bomb jump. And they have a heart container, a heart piece, and the book. Okay, Gabe.
Okay.
Someone in chat called that a minute ago. That gives us desert access and ether tablet.
And that Bombos, once we get the mitts, will allow us to enter Ice Palace. I don't know, we're not that far away from the pedestal here.
We are not. No, that is concerning. Norris bailing immediately from Eastern, heading to Desert, which is a little faster for getting items, even though it only has 2 instead of Eastern's 3. Neither is the green pendant, so they're equal on that. Yeah, it's pick your pendant time, essentially. as our checker late bit notes.
And that ether tablet up on Death Mountain is also in Logic, which is not a check that either runner is going to want to do.
No, major item in Eastern is Ether. Unfortunately, that also does absolutely nothing for right now, so thanks. We're not Eastern Desert, right? And there's the big key. We'll see what James chooses to do here. Does he stick around for Eastern, or does he go to Desert like Norris did? Yeah, I think the other reason... I think without the flute, Norris would have stuck around Eastern, because it would otherwise be a real pain to get back to, but with a flute, you can do either. There's the small key. And James is going to go to Eastern, so we're going to see the choice here between the two runners. Which of our pendant dungeons is our progression, if any? Because there is zero guarantee it's here. Echo is fully in logic. We do also have Ether Tablets. There does not have to be an item of progression here. In either dungeon. It's not Desert, because that's 300 rupees, and Norris is out of here. Doesn't feel like doing landmost on this equipment, for a pendant and the compass, so he is off to Desert. Back to Eastern for him. 20 bucks for James. I totally missed the item in the first chest. Did you catch that?
I did not catch that.
We'll get another look at it here for Norris, so no big deal. Big Heath, thank you, chat. And confirm there, okay. And another 20 rupees for James. That is all three items, and he's out of here.
Alright, let's see. James is going back up to check the Ether Tablet.
Okay. Going to play this before Desert, it seems? Oh, no. Excalibur and Chan suggesting, imagine Ether Tablet giving a shovel to prolong things. It could give us the Ether Tablet or Mushroom, yeah, for fetch quests.
Fetch quests and fetch quests. The classic Rando move.
Yes, it would. And that's it for Norris. Flippers.
This could be Flippers, but then
Flippers could, but it wouldn't be logical progression right this second. It would it would put the glove in logic, I guess, on Spiral Cave, but it doesn't help them avoid Aga. Because at this point, it's officially Aga. We've seen everything we can do in Light World. And it was indeed nothing on Ether Tablet. You know what we were talking about earlier in CAC, how this seed was generous at the start?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
And you were right on top of it. You saw those items pointing to Aghanim and called it out right away.
Yeah. Of course, even I don't know. Once we get Dark World access, we do have West Dark World access with the hookshot. We can also do Pod, Pyramid, Ledge, and for our varying other checks, it's just going to be a little slow as we have yet to find full Dark World, regular Dark World access. To Hammer should hopefully turn up soon, though there's also no guarantee of that. And yes, we do already have Red Mail. That was in Paradox Cave. First, Blue Mail was in front of Escape. Red Mail is in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, so also remember this hookshot is out of logic. The hookshot is flipper locked, so I think
Good point,
the better
actually,
play
yeah.
would be to go into Palace of Darkness, because you're not supposed to be able to access West Dark World right now.
No, and you do want flippers, because you need that for Swamp. Guaranteed.
And James getting pushed around by the guards a little bit.
Yeah.
I have been there a couple of times.
They've done the other side of Death Mountain Slider. Yeah, they've done all that they can on Lake Death Mountain, including Ether Tablet. They went back up there after getting booked from Saha's side. There's just, unfortunately, yeah, Paradox Cave had red mail and I think a shield, and that was about it. And we got an analogic glove from Spiral Cave, which will eventually pay off. They do need it. It's just that it's not in logic, so they do want to find whatever the logic is to get that. Despite having done Desert over James, Norris isn't super far behind here in Aga Tower, just a couple rooms. And do you want to guess on how many blue balls we'll get today?
I think he'll be nice and only give us one.
My usual number is 4 for this. Someone in chat saying 12, which is possible, unlikely, but possible.
And 12 is unfortunately dead.
Yep.
Oh. I believe that was 4 red balls.
That was indeed 4 hits. And 5. Aga being very nice so far.
0 blue balls, okay. Well, after making us clear the entire light world just to come up here anyway, I guess that's the least he could do.
Yeah. That was a small mercy from the seed. Let's see what Pyramid Ledge has here. Arrows.
We're gonna get a catfish check, which is also out of logic because that glove came from Spiral Cave, which came via the hook shot.
Yep. To know that East Death Mountain access could also come from finding the hammer. Vanilla or French vanilla hammer in pot would not be fun.
And Norris going straight to pod.
Which is fine, as that's a heart container.
Yeah, and you can just save and quit to quickly get back to the pyramid. So that run, I guess, from an efficiency standpoint, is not terrible, because no matter what the catfish has, you're probably just going into pod anyway.
Yeah. Or not.
Or not.
James is going to skip logic and head straight to West Dark World. Just certainly a play. He knows that it could just be flippers and pod, and then his hammer is somewhere over on West Dark World, and he doesn't want to dip hammerless pod just yet. But we'll see if this pays out. Can they do King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge on the way to West? Single arrow in King's Tomb.
So this light world is going to look a lot different. You see those pose. What's behind the flippers? The hook shot came out of Waterfall Ferry.
And presently that is our only East Death Mountain access to get ourselves a glove out of Spiral Cave. Heart Piece and Graveyard Ledge. See, bumper lit here for James is $20. The small key should be at least one key here, and that's a bottle. Thanks, game.
I'll never pass up a free red potion, but we're definitely expecting something else there.
Yeah. Norris gonna skip the big key chest for now, it looks like.
Yeah, it's I think we've checked everything else and haven't found the second item. So
Yeah, it's a small key, good point. We got big key in the bridge chest and one key on right side.
oh, okay. Then yeah, we've found both items.
And mitts for Norris. Okay, that is.
I think that's the first logical one.
That is, because we have yet to find our logical access to our to right side Death Mountain right now, because it's not that Quake Medallion.
Alright, big chest check here for James. After a nice bomb jump, is only a small key.
I don't see any items yet in Skullwood, just looking more at Pod for Norris. And there's the hammer, French vanilla in the back of Pod. There, that's our vanilla. That's our regular Darkhold access there, and access. That is access to our mitts. To our logical mitts. It is not logical access to our to our hookshot though.
Well, I don't want to hype up chat too much, but that is also logical access to the pedestal.
It is. Well, likely logical access. I think ice could still be team locked.
Yeah. We still need to find the flippers, I guess.
Yeah, that is true.
I always forget that flippers are technically required for Ice Palace because it's just so easy to get in there without them.
Yeah. And we're going to see a pet check for James, speaking of that, Chuck. So let's see what this is. Good info, given that he's already cleared one pendant, Norris has cleared two, and Heart Piece. Well, Eastern and Desert both completely useless, but it was understandable they both cleared Eastern and Norris also did Desert. Looking for ways of not doing Akka. Unfortunately, the seed was not nice. Hammer and Logical Glove, both in Pod, and Flipper is currently able to pick up our... and Logic locking the other glove on East Death Mountain. Flipper is also able for that hookshot. Oh, it's not paying out with anything for James. Have we seen the map or compass yet in Pod? Because I know Norris skipped the Pod big chest. So I'm suspecting that both are left, and that's one of them here, which is why he skipped the big chest.
I just showed a start menu, does not have either map or compass, so I suspect that is the case as well.
There. And Heart Container for James on the chest game. C-shaped tiles was nothing as well. Yep, map on Helmasaur and Crystal number 2 for Norris. 38 minutes in.
This is an interesting decision for Norris because now he knows that he found the logical access for everything, so the sea just blew wide open.
Gonna start with Thieves' Town Skullwood. So it looks like. No cane for Meyer. No cane or rods for TR. Let's see. Can't continue to swamp pals without those flippers, and you're not doing pendant ice without finding your logical flippers, I think, either.
Ice Rod just on the path here in Thieves Town, so no Ice Rod hunting.
Nope. And the red meringue, okay.
Well, if you don't have the other one, I suppose the red meringue is a suitable replacement.
2 items out of the front of Thieves Town, so we've got 2 left. No sign of the small key yet. And that is the Pokemon that I guess the Buddy Spray for Norris. I was wondering what that would be. I think there's a big key for him. And let's see what's in the back of these for James. At this point, we are missing, let's see, Fire Rod, Flippers, Cane for Go Mode. I think. Between the 2 runners.
Between the 2 of them, yes. James is missing a couple medallions.
Yeah, Ether from Desert. I guess that was the one item out of our 2 pendant dungeons, and the Quake from Pod. We'll see if that Ether's required, though. They would also like to find Temperate, so they both know where silvers are, so they can always go pick that up, because they will eventually have access to them on the Lake Island. Lucky and Blind Cell.
Which is... I haven't been counting items, but that's not very good for James because he doesn't get to check the big chests.
No, it's a 50-50 because there was an item on the attic. We found Ice Rod and I think 20 bucks in the front and 10 euros in the attic, so there's 1 item left, which is either blind or the big chest. They had fun from blind, made extra sausages the worst, made extra funny that Norris here, I believe, is actually German. And blind sound for James, giving us, oh dear, I really hope for his sake that this is not a required item in the big chest, because that's a compass on blind.
We're about to see.
Yes, we are. That is his second crystal here. Teneros. Okay, so he's safe.
James just looks like he's gonna follow this big continuous loop all the way over to Pod.
Looks like it. Yeah, if that had been something like Fire Rod, that would have been horrendous Excalibur. Thankfully it is not. 10 euros off the game. Gonna see Stumpy and K45 next for James. And Blind
since Rando Norris is in VOO with the mitts and the mirror, I wonder if you just do myth chain here.
Might not be a bad idea. James skipping Cave 45? I'm a little
Yes,
confused by that. I presume that was just a complete and total whoops, forgot about it, because he certainly can do it. He's got a mirror. And he was right there. And hey, Lennox, welcome in. How's it going? Seed was a hard required Daga Seed. For Dark World access, Hammer and First Logical Glove were both in pod. Mitts are around East Death Mountain Sparrow Cave, which they got out of logic with a hookshot from Waterfall Fairy. Flippers are nowhere to be seen.
Is he cutting corners? Yeah, it's definitely possible, but it's also possible that it just slipped his mind as he goes back for it.
Yep. Usually, especially when you're missing this many items, you don't want to walk past a quick check that's right there.
And also, from James's standpoint, he's completely out of logic. Like, there's not, he should not be over here right now, and it has not particularly worked out for him.
No, he's gotten a crystal, and that's really about it for what he's gotten. And Norris is presently skipping Skullwoods, I should know, which is going to pay off for him. James found absolutely nothing of interest in there, as Norris is going to do that Smith Chain, as he predicted.
Yeah, so you have to do the dig game before the Smith Chain, because the guy won't give you the shovel if you have something following you. He does not like two people playing the game for the price of one.
And Cane of Samaria there is the only item in Hype Cave, though very much necessary for James. It does not give him anything to do whatsoever right now. So that's going to be a pod trip for him. That will give Norris full access to Meyer once he gets that. And there's the fire rod, so that's also full access to TR and Skullwoods. Okay.
So I think we know where everything is except for the flippers, which put everything in logic. Well, I guess it only puts a hookshot in logic at this point.
Yeah. Flippers are not on the Smiths. When will Norris go to Hype Cave? That is a good question. Gonna do Skullwoods first, which makes sense, given that's a crystal that he can full clear.
Yeah, I think after Skullwoods, you might see him run down, grab the purple chest, do Cave 45 and Stumpy, turn in the purple chest, and then go to Hype Cave.
Mm-hmm. Dave's now in pod is gonna find all his items out here. He's gonna need that hammer and what'll be his mitts, as well as may need the quake from here as well. We don't know yet about the medallions required for Meyer and TR.
Yes, we'll probably check Bombo's tablet as well. Ooh, grab by a hand.
Oops. Yeah, we are still missing a sword. They do know where silvers are. They will eventually be able to get them off Lake Island. But it would still be nice to have Tempered for some of the boss fights in Ganon. And you guys are listening to the Hollow Knight MSU for Norris here. James is playing with the Ninja Gaiden 1-3 MSU. And I didn't quite like this one for Norris.
The Cane of Samaria is in Hype Cave. A fire rod is under the hammer pegs.
Yep. We were discussing dependence and ped earlier. It's a good thing that we do not need Ice Palace, because as previously discussed, it is logically Flippers locked, and Flippers are our go mode. What's the absolute worst combination to get Flippers? Well, we've already cleared 2 of our 3 pendants, and the 3rd one's behind Flippers, so that's not a concern. You can answer that question. Remind, let's sit here.
I am a Magic player, yes.
I am not, so I don't recognize the reference with your username. There's the hammer for James. Nasagi, this is standard boots. Pretty basic, simple mode. Seed's been a little terrible. This has been a kind of trolly.
Speaking of kind of trolly, this moth needs to get off these spikes.
Yes, indeed. Because moth is specifically coded to not take damage from the spikes, as otherwise this fight would be a joke. And that's the map there. Yeah, we had a 4th Daga seed for Dark World access. Logical Glove and the Hammer both in pod. Locking whatever logical mitts on Spiral Cave that they got out of Logic. With a hookshot from Waterfall Fairy, which is left behind the Flippers that are now our no mode and Norris's go mode. James is also short of Fire Rod from Hammer Bags. Potentially Ether from Peasant Desert as well, depending on what's required for TR and Meyer access. 3rd bottle on the Skullwoods Bridge Chest. And yes, that is an Umbreon. We're also seeing out that Penny's dead. Sadly, no, the Bunny Sprite for Umbreon is not an Espeon, but that would be quite fitting. Umbreon's Bunny Sprite is a Pokemon egg.
I believe James's Bunny Sprite is just Link.
Gotcha, yeah, I don't remember that particular one. I'm not sure, because it might be just a bunny without the clothes on. I do not remember.
Oh, that's right. There are several bunny sprites.
Yeah, I know the one Adirondack Rick uses has a tunicless bunny as the bunny sprite. I'm not sure if that's the one that James is using. They both got Moon Pearl well before they got Dark World access, and I didn't catch if James got Bunny Bean in Thieves Town, so I haven't really noticed. I haven't really had an opportunity to catch the bunny sprite on his end. Orange saying in chat that this particular one's Bunny Sprite, or Super Bunny Sprite is Naked Bunny, and I'm assuming that this is that particular variant of the Bunny Sprite. That is a good question. Where did James get tempered?
He got it off the Bombos tablet.
Oh, I forgot that was... Apparently I just completely missed that was there. Whoops! Thank you. Is that over a good couple minutes? I kind of just completely missed it. Norris should pick that up after the purple chest here, so...
That's why we have 2 commentators.
Yes, indeed.
Alright,
and Norris is gonna...
Meyer.
Yep. Norris is gonna go do Hype Cave here before turning in purple chest, so he's gonna pick up his... Pain. Fire makes sense for James. He doesn't have the Fire Rod, so... nice shovel. No Fire Rods from Skullwoods or TR, and this is a clearable crystal for James.
I don't know whether that was just a quick swap thing or if there's a reason to portal there.
Not sure either. Did we see one medallion from Meyer? Because I didn't catch it.
It was Quake.
Okay. James is interested in going to Dependent Desert first.
Yeah, that may be a question for later. Sometimes runners like to think about, oh, what could my opponent have done? And something could be there. So maybe this is just a bit of a cleanup route.
Mm-hmm. And he will get his ether for his troubles, which we don't yet know if that's required. It's not required for Meyer, but it is a 1 in 3 chance of being needed for TR, as here's Tempered incoming for Norris. Yeah, James noted that early in the sea there was a, you could have rushed Aggo or you could have gone for one or both pendants, so Norris might have done Desert earlier, which is the case here, that Norris did both Eastern and Desert before doing Agga Tower. And we're going to see simultaneous Meyer plays from our 2 runners. James will be slightly ahead, given that Norris is also going to do these. Meyer area checks, but will not need to do Desert because he already did that earlier, and they both know Pedestal is dead. At this point, both runners essentially, they're almost equal on items. James is missing Fire Rod off Hammer Pegs, and Norris is also up a crystal in the form of Skull Woods. Nothing in Checkerboard Cave. Flipper's Hunt, first time I'm seeing one. Yeah, Flipper's Hunts are relatively rare. They usually turn up somewhat earlier, especially because they do lock quite a few items in. They lock all of Swamp, they lock all of Ice Palace, they unlock some overworld checks, can be required for overworld navigation in Dark World, depending on your item layout. And today, Flippers are go mode for them. Actually, we don't do this too often for ALttPR, but let me go stick that up.
Somebody asked what would be the worst place for flippers, and I think I'm going to keep it simple and say Laser Bridge.
It would be pretty bad. Yeah, chat. Put in your guesses. Where are these flippers at? They cannot be in Swamp. They cannot be in Ice Palace. They can be almost anywhere else. You guys can put in a bet. Please put an exclamation mark bet and then wherever you want to say it. Personally, I'm going to go with Spike Cave. It can't be Waterfall Fairy. We saw that already, in fact, because that is where the hookshot was. It cannot be in 3 of the 4 checks in Hookshot Cave either, given that it does lock that hookshot. We have not seen Dark Death Mountain as myths were in Pod. Big Bomb is possible. Shovel we've already just found. That was in Meyer Shed. Fire Shield for James. Meyer, I think we've seen both items out of Meyer now, so this is not the answer.
I believe the big key is down.
Yeah. James gonna lose a little time here, not having the fire rod, has to do these rooms a little slow way, pushing the blocks to use the lamp.
And with Rando Norris using the lamp in the room before the compass chest, that means no spooky scaries downstairs, unfortunately.
No. Our tracker late been suggesting surprise no logic speed flippers are a nice tea. That would be something. We did see Bumper Ledge, I think it was 20 rupees or something. And while we're at it, please do give both of our runners a follow, Rando Norris and JamesFnX, as well as my co-com Secretly Sliver and our tracker late bit. Alright, Pity down for James. Norris not far behind. That is Crystal number 4 for James. Pyramid Fairy is an option as well for those flippers. We do know that Thievestown and TR are red crystals, so that is available. Gonna give it a couple more minutes on the prediction. Prediction that that hurts though for Norris taking a death on Vidi. Has a fairy in a bobble though, so that's good. I totally forgot he had one.
I didn't remember if he had one, but I feel like he knew how much health he had and that the fairy was there.
Yeah. With this crystal number 5. This is going to feel bad. James is going to do Dark Death Mountain and TR and possibly TR here before doing Smith Chain, and we know his fire rods and hammer pegs. On our checkered late bit confirming that first Bubble and Chicken Hut had a fairy that was never used. Okay. You know, to think about it, I think the one out of Skull Woods might have had a fairy in it too. Now we will see if either runner actually does all 4 chests in Tuckshot Cave, because they can do it, but if either of them is keeping track of the logic, they will know that flippers cannot be in the other 3 chests. Well, James might do the other 3 chests anyway because he's looking for his fire rod, but Norris knows that his fire rod cannot be in the 3 of the 4 chests of Hookshot Cave. Super Bunny giving us a powder and $20. Fortunately, James is kind of behind right now, having done West Dark World before Pod, really. He's down the Skull Woods, he's missing a fire rod, so he's gonna have to make another trip up the mountain for that. He's gonna technically lose a few extra seconds here doing all the chests in Hookshot Cave potentially, because Norris has kept track of logic and is out of here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Smith Chain is one of those things where if you don't do it the first time that you're at West Dark World, then you just never want to go back for it. It takes so much time for so little payoff.
Yeah, and now James is gonna go into TR, which makes sense, looking for his Fire Rod and Flippers. Unfortunately, his Flippers might be in here, so that would be bad because he'd then full clear Swamp and potentially Ice Palace. And we know his Fire Rod's not there. And it will be a double dip of TR as well for him.
And a small key, let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
He can't continue, unfortunately. He does not need the small key from right side to continue just yet. I hope for his sake that the flippers aren't accessible for him in TR, because that would just be bad. Another small key is not good news. Norris has powder, yes. Just needs to be marked on the tracker. And that is in fact a bunny with Aclos on for the bunny sprite for James. Referencing the earlier discussion. Big key there for Norris and the small key in
and
the
another
chest.
key.
Alright, so James is going to be locked out of here without that big key from the Fire Rod lock check, so he is going to be able to do Mimic Key, and that's it. Now, that is a point, I guess. Chat noticed what I did not. That Butter Sword was in Hookshot Cave. Morris doesn't have it, won't matter much. He can go pick up his silvers, and he might not. And if you want, it's not too far a detour on Lake Island. And other than that, Gold Sword Tempered isn't a huge difference. I think it was the right play from Norris to skip the rest of Hookshot Cave. He knows he's one item from Go Mode, and it cannot be there. And Tempered, with the knowledge of silvers, he doesn't need to go check that for Gold Sword. And it's not in the cave. Yeah, this does look like a Smith chain play now for James, hopefully.
So I can see his tracker here, and yeah, that just looks like about the only place he hasn't checked.
Yeah. So he will shortly have his Fire Rod. Unfortunately, he is... To finish Skullwoods, go back to TR, or reclimb the mountain, go back through TR, and then is still missing his flippers, and he is pretty solidly behind Norris at this point, I'd say. Because he also hasn't done that much in the way of extra checks that he can gain back time on while Norris does those. They've done more or less the same dungeon checks, most of the same overworld checks. James has done, I guess, North Dark World, but that's about it that I can think of.
Yeah, I think they've both just basically full clear the seed at this point, but Rando Norris has been slightly more efficient because he stayed in Logic and went to Pod, while James continued out of Logic and went to West Dark World.
Yeah. And for those who missed it, our go mode is Flippers, and our hookshot is locked behind that on Waterfall Fairy. They both had to do Dark World Aga for Dark World access because their first level was on Spiral Cave, which was, and at the time, locked behind the hookshot. There's Flippers. Norris is in go mode and we're in no mode. Right. But Hookshot was on Spike Cave, Hookshot was on Waterfall Fairy, which at the time locked their first glove in Spike was on Spiral Cave. Brain's not working apparently. It turns out that was logically Mitz, locked behind Hammer and Glove in Pod. James, so the ones they both did Aga at about the same time. James went his Catfish into West Dark World. Norris did Pod first, got the Hammer and Logical Glove, and has been essentially ahead ever since. Because James has had to do a lot of backtracking and just losing efficiency here and there for it.
And only need to check one chest in Laser Bridge. Always nice when that happens.
And you win this one. Late bit is the closest bet to where where those Flippers went.
Chat says not the worst to go around if you're missing Hammer, but the hookshot was out of Logic, which meant that at least something had to be in Pod, if only those Flippers to put the hookshot in Logic.
Yeah, because they had no West Dark World access when they finished Aga, logically. So that was crystal number 6 for Norris. Can I have a very, very quick Swamp Palace? Just going to go mode that. And then we'll be off to the Gens Tower here.
No, it's like a Swamp Palace ever goes. Even in go mode, Swamp is a bit of a slog.
That is true. Buying a blue potion real quick. And thanks for the raid, Nilviter, or however you pronounce it. Apologies, I'm not sure. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. We are an hour 13 minutes into a Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup match here. Brackets round 2. This is a game for you between Rando Norris and JamesFnX. We're in standard boots. Rando Norris is in go mode. James, unfortunately, is missing of. Needs to go back to Turtle Rock to get his Flippers, and that will be his go mode. Moth going down relatively quickly. Yeah, Excalibur. I don't know if Norris will pick up the Flippers. Not Flippers, Silvers. Right. He knows where they are. Both of them have seen it. It's on the Lake Island. Just don't know if either of them will choose a detour for it.
I would. Silver save 45 seconds on the Ganon fight alone. I think it's worth it.
Yeah. And it takes less than 45 seconds to pick them up. With the portals they have on Lake to get to the Lake Island. They can both certainly do Ganon with Temperate and Gold Sword and no silvers, but it might be a choice to pick it up just to save a little time. And yeah, Incoherent notes, Incoherent notes, it's certainly more comfy to have silvers for Ganon. James walking out of Skullwoods here. Did he not finish off Smith Chain earlier? Trying to think of where he's going right now.
He's going back for Thieves Town Big Chest.
Oh yeah, right, because he didn't have the hammer for that earlier. Nice bomb diver down for Norris, not using the cane even though he has it.
Not diving into the water to set his pixel position either, so...
Yeah, that out of logic play to West Dark Road are costing more time now for James because he is now back in Thieves Town, losing a couple of minutes here running back through.
Yeah, and I mean James knows, like, his map is basically fully cleared. He knows, like, if the answer is just Turtle Rock, then his opponent is probably just irrecoverably ahead. So he's just kind of making a YOLO play, playing to his outs.
Yeah. Understandable. He is unfortunately several minutes behind at this point. I wonder what he thinks Norris did for this to be his out. I'm not sure either, but...
He maybe thinks that they took the same route and that his opponent would not go back for Thieves Town Big Chest, and that he would.
That is also that's a good point, yeah. Hell Room Hail Mary is actually what won Rando Norris their game 1, apparently. You said you did a little research before coming for the restream?
Yeah, that's what they said in the race room, was that the GT Big Key ended up in Tile Room, and Rando Norris got it right away, and James full cleared GT looking for it.
Yeah. Alright, Silvers haven't picked up for Norris. He's back up to GT now. And yes, it's time for the guessing game. I forgot that. Quickly, put the number in between 1 and 22, chat. Where's this big key? I'm gonna just do this one informally. I'm gonna put in 14. But yeah, I mean, James could do a Tile Room Hail Mary. I just don't think there's enough time for it anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure even that can catch him up at this point.
He is unfortunately pretty substantially behind. Troll can troll, yes. I just don't think Troll can troll for 5-ish minutes. Like, it would take a lot, I think, at this point. Unfortunately, for James to come back, it is a good few minutes because he has to run. He has to run back through TR, back down the mountain, go mode swamp. It does go mode swamp, but it still takes a good couple of minutes. Then reclimb the mountain and then go to GT. That's not fast.
No, it's very very slow.
Yeah, 6 to 8 minutes at least. I agree with that. Excalibur might be closer to 10. James has done half of TR already, but he still has to run all the way back through it, which isn't particularly fast. Alright, let's see. GT, check number 1 is the heart piece, check number 2 is the compass.
An Aga 2 death may do it. The last locate big key and then an Aga 2 death, that may be enough, but that's a very low percentage. I mean, we're in the round of 32 of Challenge Cup. I don't see a lot of runners dying on Aga 2.
Yeah, especially red mail, 12 hearts. I know Norris has a blue potion, and I think has at least 1 fairy still. I'm not sure if he still has that red potion from earlier. Yeah, that was 4 through 7. The Stalfos room there for Norris. This is 8.
Bob is the Rando community's name for the anti-fairy before Ice Armos, because it glitches out if you don't collect the item on Torch, and it creates a little funny sprite.
That was
yeah,
10 through 13. Had to count for a second. Yeah, good.
Yeah, this big key is just dodging us here.
Yes, it is. While the percent has been achieved.
And there's our buddy Bob.
Yep. It is not check number 14. Uh, 15, 16 is the big key, and 17.
And a mirror shield just for good measure.
Yep. Says, see, said 16 is our side with one with it. Apologies, I botched your name. Wins that guess. So with a guess of 15, you were closest to that one. You win 8. Congratulations, you win 8 lifetime supply of Link to the Past Randomizer seeds redeemable at linktothepastrandomizer.com. Terms and conditions may apply, emulator not included. And we are not responsible for any distress or damage you may experience while playing through the randomizer. Seeds take if a standard seed takes you more than 4 hours, please consult a YouTube tutorial. Randomly used as a flotation device. Good one. Ooh, Norris not quite getting the 1 cycle, and then was 2. Or the 2 cycle, ouch.
Well, while we're finishing out the climb here, I just wanted to thank you, Star, for co-comming with me, and thank our tracker 8-Bit, and also Star for restreaming this.
Yeah, thank you for commentating with me. Please do give everyone here a follow, our runners, Rando, Norris, and JamesFnX, as well as my co-com Secretly Sliver and our tracker 8-Bit. Moldorm 2's down, same time as Argus for James.
Nah, no fluffing. He's already got tempered and silvers. Doesn't really need much else.
No, not particularly. Tempered silvers, 14 hearts, red mail, 3 bottles. Doesn't quite get the double there on Aga 2. It's trolling a bit here.
Yeah, Aga 2 is one of the harder bosses, and it's also extremely RNG heavy, so tough to practice.
1021, I think, so far. 10212, yep. James is going to enter JT about the same time as Norris enters the cannon fight here.
Always nice when Ganon sets up shop here, so you can just sit in the corner and hit him.
Yep. Using the cane for a little bit of safety. Not getting torch glitch, but not going to be an issue here with silvers. Getting a nice double.
So it's obviously personal preference, but I actually don't like having torch glitch in Silver's fight. It's a lot easier to set him up in the middle of the room like Rando Norris just tried to do when you light both torches.
Having a little trouble, but there we go.
And the pig is dead. Get your GGs in chat for Rando Norris, who will cross the finish line here momentarily.
And move on to the round of 16 here with an official race time, that GT time of 1:30:11. Switch over to the interview scene, and we should be getting both runners in here shortly. And we are now joined by both runners. GG.
GG's.
GG's.
Not my best effort, that's for sure.
Well, I guess I was pretty lucky that I directly went into pod, so it could have turned around.
Yeah, that sequence broken glove just ruined me in a lot of ways this seed. If I don't find the glove up there on the mountain, I probably just do Aghanim's Tower and do pod and Eastern together. But finding the glove made me want to dig for another glove or dig for a hammer to avoid Aghanim's Tower. And then I'd done Eastern. I didn't want to commit to checking 2 items in desert before doing the tower climb. So I get done with the tower climb and I know flippers or hammer lock that glove. I've got 2 items in desert, 4 items, possibly 5 in pod, and a bunch of stuff that I'm going to do anyways. I'm not gonna not do Graveyard Ledge or Village Outcasts or Thieves Town this seed or Check Skull Woods. I'm doing all this stuff. So I'll just try and get more information and make the decision later. And it just worked out that it wasn't even that the hammer was in pod. It was that the hammer and the glove were in pod and the fire rod was in hammer pegs. That's the whole thing right there.
Yeah. I went over to desert before going into the tower because I was hoping for at least a second glove or for the hammer. To avoid Aghanim. But I lost so much time doing this before. I don't know. You got the book, you had the bow, and you got nothing for that in the light world. I don't know.
I'm much more willing to do Aghanim and kind of, if it's wrong, it's wrong. But with the early mirror, I'm just way more willing to do it and route a little bit better and make up some of the time from the climb, especially with what we had, it was a pretty quick climb. But this time the glove just kind of made me dig a little harder. It kind of ended up making me make the wrong decision in the seed.
I guess it was pretty easy to commit to the wrong things in this seed.
Yeah.
If you went over to Village of Outcasts, I was thinking about that. Going into Village of Outcasts before going to pod. But then I really don't know why I then went over to pod. But yeah, I guess I would have lost a lot of time if I hadn't done that before, because when will you go back to the hammer packs?
Right, exactly. And you had better information since you had done desert. It was literally something had to be in pod, so of course you're going there. But I had other locations where that item could be.
Yeah.
You guys just answered all my questions, so
Pretty much. See, that was relatively kind of straightforward. You guys got several items in Light World, of course, including that had a logic hookshot and waterfall fairy to glove on Spikeade. But then, of course, it's Nagaseed, even with Bug Down Lumberjack. And then Don't skip pod, and then your item just show up on the way, more or less.
Yeah, don't skip pod. This is basically a jet seed. If you do skip pod, then you are having to check literally everything looking for outs, hoping that like your flippers are on magic batter in the dig spot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and we did see you, James, go back to Thieves Town Big Chest before going and getting your flippers out of Turtle Rock. Did you want to expand on that decision a little bit?
It's just that the only way I'm close in that race at that point is if Sven did the same things as I did, and did Thieves Town before getting the hammer, and did all of that before going over to pod and getting the hammer in the mitts. So I'm just really playing to low percentage outs at that point. It doesn't matter if I lose by a minute or by 30 minutes, right? So it's just really a matter of, that's why I checked shovel, and that's why I checked magic bat before doing any or going up to Turtle Rock as well. I really need those flippers to be somewhere really bad.
Right.
Yeah, I was planning to do the red bomb after T-Rock if the flippers weren't there. But yeah, I'm currently thinking about my alternative checks. I guess there wasn't so much left, if I'm right. Cause yeah, Hookshot Cave was dead.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hookshot Cave was dead. Ice was dead.
Genau. Yeah. What had I left? Spike Cave and the graveyard checks. Right.
Graveyard Legend, King's Tomb.
Yeah. Oh, and Catfish. I never checked Catfish. I don't know if you did.
I checked it. That was my first check in the Dark World.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because you guys did Aga. You went pod, Norris, and James went Catfish into West Dark World immediately.
Yeah, that's about it. It's one or two choices I made based on finding that glove out of logic that just sunk me today.
Well, that's just how the randomizer goes sometimes, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Good luck. Good luck next round.
You can. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Good luck in the next round. Thanks for the restream. Thanks for getting this all organized in very short order. And yeah, I can move on to other things now. So that's cool too.
Yeah. Norris, you're going to be facing off against Nux. Not sure how to pronounce that. In the next round, any thoughts?
Oh, I really didn't realize yet that I made it to the top 16 stage because yeah, I never thought about this. It's my first appearance in this tournament, and yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you, and yeah, thanks for the restream, James. Thanks for the races. It was yeah, three pretty tight races, and yeah, thanks for the restream.
Yeah, thanks for racing. So pleased to give both of our runners a follow, JamesFnX and Rando Norris here, as well as my co-com Secretly a Sliver and our tracker Late Bit. Let's see, coming up ahead on the CSR schedule. Let's see, we have at 5 p.m. Eastern here on this channel in about 3 hours, we'll have the Zelda 2 multi-category tournament 2023 grand finals between Unos and Light. We also have some more Woodlaker Randomizer mini balloons tournament matches coming up throughout the week, and there will be more linked ALttPR matches added to the schedule, as well as people are available. Keep an eye out for that. This will be it here for us right now. We're going to go over and raid CS Tutor89, who is doing Girlskies this seed asynching race. It looks like about an hour, hour 17 in, so let's see how that's going for them. And thank you for watching all. We will see you next time.